مولانا محمد وعلى آله وصحبه أجمعين. All praises are due to Allah, Lord of the universes. All praises are due to Allah, who is one. All praises are due to Allah, who is without partner. All praises are due to Allah, the unique one. There is nothing like Him, and He is like no one. All praises are due to Allah, who has made His beloved Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ the chosen prophet and the mercy to the universes. And may all peace and blessings be upon the possessor of power, the possessor of honor, the possessor of firmness, the possessor of might, the possessor of blessing, Sayyidina Muhammad ﷺ, and upon his noble family and blessed companions, especially upon the four Khulafa Rashidin, Hazrat Abu Bakr Siddiq, Hazrat Umar al-Faruq, Hazrat Uthman al-Ghani, and Hazrat Ali al-Murtaza, and all those who follow them until the last day. Ya ayyuhal mu'minun, O believers, welcome to you in this holy day of Jummah, in the holy month of Zul Qaida, as we are approaching the days of Zul Hijjah and the day of Qurban. May we be awake to understand the significance of these days and run to please our Lord and our Prophet during these times, inshallah. O believers, keep your faith fresh and alive. Keep your faith to be real. Do not let your faith to wither up and die. Because the Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying in his Hadith Sharif, say, I believe in Allah, and then be steadfast and stand straight. Our ego, our desires, this dunya and shaitan, they are constantly working against us, trying to rob us of our faith. And there is constantly a battle going on inside of us, inside of our hearts, for our faith. If we are in complete ghaflat, heedlessness of that battle, if we do not even know that it is happening, then we must be losing. We must be awake and aware to that, and we must take many precautions to protect our faith. Because the Holy Prophet ﷺ, who is the giver of glad tidings, but who is also the warner, he had warned us to protect our faith. And he also warned us that times would come in our lives that would feel like our faith was becoming weak. And he, ﷺ, he also gave us medicine for this sickness, for this weakness. Holy Prophet ﷺ is advising us, saying, there is no heart except that it has a cloud, like the clouds of the moon. While the moon is shining, it gets covered with a cloud and it gets dark. So when the cloud leaves it, the moon goes back to its shine. So this hadith is showing us that yes, there are going to be dark times that come to us. There are going to be difficult times that come. There are going to be times that we feel like there is no more light. But we have to know that those times are going to pass. And that the light of faith is just covered. It is just hidden. And it's going to shine again. But for that light of faith to continue to shine, there is certain work that we must do as well. He is saying, ﷺ, faith wears out in your heart as old clothes wear out. So ask Allah to renew the faith in your hearts. And once Sahaba Kiram said, Ya Rasulullah, how do we renew our faith? And he ﷺ answered, saying, say, La ilaha illallah. And in another hadith, he is saying, there are three qualities. Whoever has them will taste the sweetness of faith. To love Allah and His Messenger more than anyone else. To love a servant of Allah only for the sake of Allah. And to hate returning to disbelief after Allah has saved him from it, as he would hate to be thrown into the fire of hell. An intelligent man is going to look at this hadith not only as a prescription of what to do, but he will also realize that this hadith contains a warning of the things a person should not do. Because if a person is doing the opposite of the things that are bringing the sweetness of Iman, then definitely he is killing his faith. So, according to this hadith, one of the things that will make our faith weaker is if we let other loves besides the love of Allah and His Messenger to rule our hearts. If the love of other than Allah and His Messenger takes over the heart, then definitely a person is going to lose his faith. What is the biggest example of this? What is the example of this that our Shaykh, Sahibul Sayyid, Shaykh Abdul Karim al-Kabrisi Rabbani, was always reminding us of? The story of Ibn Salama. Ibn Salama was from the Ashab al-Sufa, the dervishes during the time of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, who were attached to the Masjid al-Nabawi. He was in full-time hizmat, sacrificing everything for the Holy Prophet ﷺ, spending his time in the masjid, cleaning, making zikr, living a simple life. But one day, Ibn Salama asked Holy Prophet ﷺ to pray for him to become rich. And Holy Prophet ﷺ told him, Ya Ibn Salama, it is not for you. But he insisted. He asked again and again. He said he wanted to become rich to help his brothers. And the Holy Prophet ﷺ told him, Ya Ibn Salama, you are not richer than Allah. Allah wants them this way. So don't interfere. Be happy with what you have. But because he kept insisting, Rasulullah ﷺ opened his hands and prayed, and Ibn Salama became an owner of sheep, and before long he became extremely wealthy. And soon that man who was counted from the Ashab al-Sufa, he stopped staying in the masjid. He stopped coming for eating. He only came for prayer, for namaz. Then his business became more profitable, and he only started coming for Fajr and Isha. Slowly it turned only Juma prayers. Finally, Ibn Salama stopped coming completely. Holy Prophet ﷺ was sitting with his Sahabis, and he said, where is Ibn Salama? All the Sahabis kept their heads down. So he asked again, where is Ibn Salama? And the Sahabi said, Ya Rasulullah, it is known to you. He has so much wealth. He has so many animals. He cannot live in Medina. So he has to go out of Medina, and it's pretty hard for him to go back and forth. So he's not coming. Holy Prophet ﷺ asked, who is he helping with that wealth? And the Sahabis answered, not us, Ya Rasulullah. Not long after that, the order came from Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala for zakat to be collected. And some Sahabis came to Ibn Salama to inform him and collect zakat. He told them to go to another Sahabi and to come back to him. When they came back, he said, what happened to Muhammad now? He's asking for bribery now? The Sahabis were shocked and went back to the Holy Prophet ﷺ to report what had happened. What did Rasulullah ﷺ say? Oh, Ibn Salama, you have lost, and you have lost. This is for you and this is for me. This is for the whole world. This is what happens to our faith when we let the dunya to enter inside. This is what happens when we let the ego to enter. Don't think that we are better than him. He is a warning to us. Ibn Salama, understand, he was from the Ashab al-Sufa, those who are claiming to be Sufis. He is from the originators of Tasawwuf. He had dedicated his life to Rasulullah ﷺ and serving Islam. But even from that honored position, he was not safe from falling all the way down. What made him fall? What made him lose his faith? What made him go so low that he dared to say those words about the Holy Prophet ﷺ? He fell in love with dunya. He let the love of dunya be higher than the love of Allah and His Prophet. And for that, he lost his dunya and he lost his akhirat. So Holy Prophet ﷺ is also telling us that what gives us the sweetness of Iman is loving the servants of Allah only for the sake of Allah. What is the meaning? Loving your brothers, loving the people you are in association with, helping them, knowing them, being familiar to them. And what is the opposite of that? Not really caring for your brothers, looking down on them, complaining about them, backbiting about them, just seeing each other, giving fake salams, and returning home to our families and to our work. That is going to kill our hearts. And in reality, the company of our brothers in faith, it is better for us than the company of our blood families. But some may prefer their own families to the brothers of faith, thinking they have more faith. Who is judging? You are. And who is saying that the company of brothers in faith is better than the company of our blood families? Hazrati Hassan al-Basri radiallahu anhu. He says, our brothers are dearer to us than our families, because our families remind us of this world, but our brothers remind us of the Akhirat. So being in Jamaat, loving our brothers, that is part of keeping our Iman alive. We have to check ourselves. If we are separating from the Jamaat, if we are separating from our brothers, if we are being like Ibn Salama and keeping far away, then we know that our faith is in a great danger. And we must have feeling and love for our brothers in faith everywhere. The Holy Prophet ﷺ is saying the Muslim Ummah is like one body. If the eye is in pain, then the whole body is in pain. And if the head is in pain, then the whole body is in pain. Today's Muslims, their faith is not dying. Their faith is dead because they left their hadith. They sit in their own comfort, luxury homes, and they forget everything else. Even when that reminder they are seeing in front of their faces 24 hours. Everyone is busy with the news on fitna Facebook. But our hearts has become so dead that even with these reminders, nothing is touching it except for things that would entertain us, except for things that will make us laugh, except for things that will put us into more ghaflat. But then claiming we know Allah, claiming we know the Prophet, claiming we know our Shaykh. I don't need anyone else. This week, the whole world is looking at the picture of that little boy who was rescued in Halab, in Aleppo. The whole world are looking at his eyes. And his eyes, they are looking at the whole world. Just like Shaykh Effendi told us, what the eyes of the little children in those situations are saying. Their eyes are looking and they are saying, you are all dead. We are living. We are living, but you are all dead. And the only way that we can remind ourselves of this and to wake up is to remember what Shaykh Effendi is saying. That's because you are not feeling anything anymore. You're not seeing anything anymore. You are not understanding anything anymore. Because you have died. Worrying for your selfish, egoistic lifestyle. Yes, that's what is happening. And that's what's happened to us. And yes, we should move. Wake up, because Allah's revenge is coming. It's coming to every one of us. I don't know who is going to escape from that, but the revenge is coming. Those are real words. Thinking and feeling pain for our brothers, that is going to make our hearts to wake up. Because worrying and crying for the ummah, it is the way of Habibullah alayhi salatu wasalam. And the last thing that the Holy Prophet alayhi salatu wasalam is saying is that the person who hates to go back to kufr the way that he hates to be thrown into hellfire, he has sweetness of iman. So we should ask ourselves, is that how much we would hate to go into kufr? Or do we look and say, oh, before I started practicing, I had such a nice life. I had such nice friends. I had such nice family. Everything was so nice before I entered into my faith. And now everything is so difficult. If that is in our hearts, our iman is dying. But if you look to the scholars of today, and when you look and you understand what they speak about love and tolerance, you know it is fake. Especially when they speak about unconditional love. Because that heart that has unconditional love cannot be standing there smiling and speaking about love. When a child, such as that refugee, is lying there covered in ashes and in blood and crying. Those scholars, those sheikhs, they cannot stand and laugh, knowing that this whole world, the innocent ones, they are crying and suffering. They should stand up firm and straight and to warn those ones who are following batil to come back to haqq, and to warn the whole ummah that we're following the way of batil. That's why on the one hand, never before you've seen so much suffering in the Muslim world, but when you look at the scholars, they speak about love as if everyone is drowned in the ocean of love and luxury and comfort and ease, east and west, north and south. This is not faith. This is the opposite of faith. That hadith of the Holy Prophet ﷺ, warning us about our faith dying, it is a proof that the way to faith is the way of following a friend of Allah. The friend of Allah, his only teaching is to love Allah and His Prophet more than anything else, and to love those whom Allah and His Prophet loves, and to hate those whom Allah and His Prophet hates. And the light of faith that enters into your heart through this blessing, it is more valuable to you than this dunya and everything in it. O believers, our only honor is in that faith. Sahib al-Sayyid is saying, so we have fallen because our faith has fallen. So we have to turn back to that faith again, to strong faith. We have to make our faith to grow first. And the only way to do that, we have to take the examples of our role models, the Sahaba Kiram. We have to look at them. We have to see how they lived, what was their behavior, and how did they act in every situation. Then we may turn back to our own origin. We're asking our Lord Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala to give us that real faith, the faith of the Sahaba Kiram. And we're asking our Lord to make Him and His Prophet and our Shaykh more beloved to us than anything else. We're asking our Lord to make us to love our brothers for His sake. We're asking our Lord to make us to hate to return to kufr like we hate being thrown into a fire. And we're asking our Lord to give us the faith of our Shaykh and to keep us with him in this life and the next. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah. Astaghfirullah.